Alright, hey, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete. I'm about to bring you lunch, vegan style. We're gonna make a delicious lunch, majority of which is coming from our garden, and it's gonna be a vegan bruschetta, really tasty. We have some really good things to show you guys that are ripening right now out of my garden. So without further ado, let's go for it. Here we go. Alright, so here we go. What we got today is we got sprouted wheat bread from Trader Joe's, California style. I have no idea what that means. We have some amethyst basil that was ripening from the garden and some Thai basil. So we have two different kinds of basil. This amethyst basil, it's amazing how dark it is, and then it's becoming lighter as after it's picked. We have some heirloom Cherokee purple tomatoes, which are almost perfect. We've got some other types of tomatoes which were ripe in the garden. So 3 different types. Black Beauty zucchini, and we have some cilantro, and my peach tree ripened, and so I'm so excited that we have ripe peaches. So this is going to be my dessert. As I'm making lunch for you, I get to snack on peaches. All right, cool. So first we're going to chop it up. Look at the beautiful color on the inside of that tomato. And slice it up any way you like. I'm going to cut it into thin, maybe like small to medium sized cubes, because that's what I want. So there was one. And here's number 2. There we go. We got a nice little pan right here. We're going to scoop this stuff right into the pan. So there's my Cherokee purple tomatoes. Let's dice up some cilantro. Some of this cilantro was going to seed, to flower, and to coriander, and I don't really care. Okay, there's some cilantro going in there. I'm going to save the basil for later. I'm going to try to use these 2 tomatoes because they look amazing. These are from a dwarf tomato plant that only got very, very small, and it puts off a lot of tomatoes even though it's small. It's really incredible. And this one is like a little cherry tomato, and I forget which variety it is, but it is delicious and it looks so cute. So there's a few more tomatoes going in there. Now we got the zucchini. I always compost all of my leftover greens. That way everything goes back to my plants. So we've got this one. We're going to dice this one up a little bit. There's my zucchini. I'll tell you what, I already kind of messed up. I meant to save the tomatoes for later. So we're going to put these nice looking tomatoes on this plate. And we're going to get the zucchinis going first. And we got this really delicious organic virgin coconut oil from Trader Joe's, because it's a pretty good price at Trader Joe's. And we're going to add that to the vegetables. A little bit of that in the pan. Then I got this Armenian cucumber that we grew. We have about, I got way too many Armenian cucumbers out there on the vine. These are almost like a melon. They're so humongous. I'm going to cut it into little wheel shape, and then I'm going to just dice it up. Give it a little bit of a dice so it's a little bit uneven, because that's how I'm going to roll today. I'll put that in our pan. So I'm just putting a little bit of cucumber and zucchini in the pan. And guess what? It's time for peach number 2. We're gonna get that cooking up. Spread some of that oil around. And normally I do fresh garlic, but I'm kind of in a rush today, so I'm gonna just add a touch of ginger. Maybe about that much ginger. This is ground ginger. And then a little bit of crushed garlic, because garlic we grow mostly in the fall garden, and we have a couple of heads out there growing right now, but they're not quite ready yet. I'm also going to add some Trader Joe's pink Himalayan sea salt. Trader Joe's has the best price on this pink salt. Add some of that in there. And then I'm going to add some of this red cayenne pepper, because my peppers aren't quite ripe yet. It's only May. So we're going to put that cayenne pepper in there because I like it spicy. And we're going to let that kind of get cooking a little bit here. All that ginger, garlic, cayenne pepper, sea salt, and cucumber and zucchini. Then I'm going to take the bread I'm going to get this bread going in the toaster to give it a little bit of a toast, so that you can see the sprouted grains inside there. And while the toast is cooking up and the veggies are cooking up, it's time for peach number 3. So good. And of course we're going to clean up as it's cooking. That way my wife Pamela comes home to a nice clean house. And since I'm working out hard today, I'm gonna do 4 pieces of this toast. Let's put that away. Now last night for dinner we had 1 extra corn on the cob left over, so I'm gonna cut this corn up, and I'm gonna just throw this in the pot because it's kind of a last minute addition. I didn't want to just waste it or just put it to my chickens or the compost. I'm going to just take it like that, and I'll give this to my chickens. I'll put it in the compost here first. We're going to throw some of that corn in there. We're going to try to brown some of these veggies. And let's start prepping for our meal. So we got the piece of toast here going on, nice and brown. We're going to add some of this Earth Balance organic buttery spread. Earth Balance is all organic, and it's just a natural blend of palm fruit, soybean, canola, and olive oils, sea salt. There's 0 MSG, no alcohol, there's no gluten, there's crushed soybeans, there's non-dairy lactic acid, and that's about it. So we're going to add a dab of that on each piece of toast here. And you're going to see how this stuff melts beautifully. And we're almost done. That means it's time for peach number 4. And since these veggies are looking pretty good, we're going to drain off the liquid of the tomatoes into the compost. And we're going to add the rest. We got that cilantro and heirloom tomatoes in there. We're going to spread out the butter, the vegan butter. We're going to start separating our Thai basil leaves. And just take off the leaves and take the stems, the hard stems, and give them back to the compost. This butter has 0 trans fats, 0 cholesterol, and 80 calories in a serving and 9 grams of fat. Okay, there, and our vegetables look like they've gotten a little bit of a brown tint on them there. And this part is optional. I have some Trader Joe's vegan mozzarella shredded cheese. It's made from canola oil, cornstarch, vegetable glycerin, arrowroot starch, pea protein, vegan flavors, sunflower lecithin, and water, canola oil. So it melts really nicely. And we're gonna just take some of this bruschetta type of stir fry we just cooked up, and we're gonna lay that on top of all the toast. Can you guys smell it? Can you smell what the vegan is cooking? All right. Now what I'll do is I'll save the rest for either later on or for Pamela, my wife, and that way she can enjoy some. And I'll throw this in the back burner and we'll package that up later. And then what I can do is you could leave this part out if you wanted to, but a little bit of this vegan cheese on top here, and this will melt right on. And there we go. Now to finish our wonderful gourmet bruschetta, we're going to lay these basil leaves on top. Amethyst basil, you never see it in the store because it doesn't last too long after it's picked. But it's really good for you, especially since it's got the purple color in it. Think of all the phytonutrients I'm digesting and which are becoming my body, you know, so I'm going to put all this basil on there. So it's got a really good basil-y flavor. Some of my friends sometimes say, you know, I don't like vegan food because it doesn't have any taste. And I'm like, well, why not? Neither does meat. It's the oil and the spices that make meat taste good, and the salt. And spices, oil, and salt are vegan. So vegetables actually do have taste, and when you add good spices like basil, cilantro, sea salt, cayenne pepper, coconut oil, when you add all that stuff to your vegetables, it just brings out the flavors even more, and it's way more flavorful than meat can ever be. And then maybe because I'm a crazy person, and because I like things really hot and spicy, I'm going to include a little bit of this jalapeno pepper hot sauce on top. Just a little bit of a dab. My wife thinks I'm crazy. She thinks that I'm killing my taste buds, but I like the spicy stuff. And there we go. We got cucumber. We've got a cucumber, zucchini, heirloom tomato, 3 different kinds of tomatoes, 2 different kinds of basil, sea salt, cayenne pepper, vegan cheese on sprouted grain bread with the cilantro, cayenne pepper, sea salt, and basil, and earth balanced butter. This will be my delicious lunch today. Let's take a taste so you guys can see what's going on here. Can you guys see? Wow. I got a piece of basil in there. Fantastic. I hope you guys enjoy this particular lunch, and I'll see you next time.